Hi guys, I hope you're having a great morning, a great day, or a great night. Thank you for watching yet another video, and I hope the previous videos were edifying to say the least. Today's topic is the heart is wicked, and this topic came about when I thought about the plans I had in my heart, and the plans did not include God. To be honest, I was outside the will of God because I was disobedient and I was planning things while I was outside the will of God and planning to bring them back to God. I wanted to make a mess out there and give the mess to God for God to fix the mess. You know, the Bible talks about the heart being wicked in many instances, in Proverbs specifically, but the verse I have for today is in the book of Jeremiah, and it's in chapter 17. Chapter 17. So I'll go there and read the verse first before we go any further. Jeremiah 17, verse 9. Jeremiah 17, verse 9. And it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Question mark. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So, this scripture kept popping up in my mind while I was thinking about the plans I had outside the will of God and how I planned to actually bring back those plans into God's hands so that He would fix my mess. So, this all started when I started disobeying God, as I've mentioned in my other videos. And if you missed all of that, you can go back and rewatch all those videos, and the story will make perfect sense. So I was outside the will of God. I was disobeying God. I was doing everything I wanted to do, and realizing that everything was stemming from my trust issues with men, because again, our relationships with those around us affect or dictate how we do relationship with God. And so I have a lot of trust issues, and it shows up a lot in my relationship with the Lord. And so I was outside the will of God, and I was thinking that since God will not let me do anything that I want to do, how about since I was outside His will, I just, you know, get a husband that I want, get children, get married, get friends that I want, get everything, choose for myself everything that I want. And after a while of living that life that I chose for myself, how about I bring it back to the Lord, and the Lord will just put the pieces together and everything will fit together like a puzzle. And thinking about all of that just made this scripture to become real for me, because at the time my heart was wicked. Like, who thinks about such things? Who actually plans to do something outside the will of God and wants to bring it back to God for God to fix it? Like, only the heart, only the wickedness of the heart could just devise such a plan. Because I thought, man, okay, people have had, children out of wedlock, and God does not throw them away. So probably if I have kids outside of wedlock and then bring them to God, He's not gonna throw them away and say, you know what, you were outside of my will, you were disobeying me at the time, go away with your children. He's not gonna do that. So honestly, guys, that's what I planned. I was planning a lot of things, and I was in a relationship that I knew that the Lord did not want. And while I was in this relationship, this is the craziest this is the craziest plan that I've ever devised in my whole life. And if it was not for the person who was involved in the relationship with me just not wanting to be on board with my plans, yeah, I would have been in a crazy situation. Because whether or not the relationship is something that God was saying, just put it down for now, I'll give it to you later, or is what it was something that the Lord was saying that you are not compatible with this person, this is not the person that I have for you. Whether or not those were the two reasons, I wouldn't know, but I wanted things to be done my way. And so I told the person that I was in a relationship with that we should get married without anybody knowing that we're married. Just me and this person just going to whatever place and finding a minister who was going to marry us, and then afterwards us signing the papers, and we wouldn't tell anyone until at a later date. And I truly wanted to do that. I truly wanted to do that. Now when I think about it, I'm like, bruh, I was losing it. I was losing my mind. But I truly wanted to just do that. And I wanted to just manipulate God into the situation, so to say, because I knew that had I done that, I would be coming back to the will of God with something that was heavy, something that God respects. I understood that God respects a marriage, but at the same time, I was forgetting the fact that had that person not been my God ordained spouse, that could have easily went left. I would be miserable for a long time or had that person had other issues that I did not know about that would later pop up in our marriage, and I realized I made the biggest mistake of my life. I would be miserable for a long time and live in regret. So again, the wickedness of the heart can be deceptive, as the scripture says. It can be deceptive. You, in the moment, you think that your heart wants something that is good for you, and when God nudges you not to move towards that certain desire, because desires are okay to have, just some desires are not to be acted upon. And so when God nudges you not to act upon that desire, it becomes as if God is this, egomaniac who's always trying to control how you live your life. And that's really the biggest disconnect between God and I, because of my daddy issues, I struggle to see him the way that I should be able to see him. I imagine him to be this person that is always trying to control me. And that's something that I felt with my natural relationships. And so whenever God gives me an instruction, it it becomes as if he's trying to control, you know. But yeah, let's look at other scriptures that talks about the heart and the plans of God. And so let's take a few scriptures from Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. This is not going to be long. This is the last of the scriptures that I'm going to give, and then we're good to go. Verse 9. Okay, I didn't really mean to come to this one, but this one is Proverbs 20, verse 9. And it says, "Who can say I have made my heart clean? I am pure from sin." And this brings me to another conversation where God says in one of the proverbs that we should submit our hearts to him, and then he will establish our ways. And so our heart is meant for us to submit to God. We are not to completely rely on our heart because of its deceitful nature. And so yeah, that's all I had for this video. I don't want to make it long and take it to a point I didn't plan to take it to, but I just wanted to speak on the deceitfulness of the heart according to the deceitful plans I had in my heart. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every time I post. And comment if you have any comments on this topic. And let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, bye.